Hey you cooking fools. I have an announcement to make for all of you in case you haven't already guessed from the title of this video. I feel like everyone these days, especially in the past week or two, they've all been getting real honest on the internet and public media, and I've been planning this for a while, so I don't want you to think I'm just doing this so I can get like more people to watch my videos. I just want those of you who do watch my videos, you know, the 30 of you who do, to be well informed in my life and my decision-making processes, because I want to stay authentic to myself and to this channel. So I feel like now is the perfect time to let you in on this thing that I'm about to tell you, because I just don't feel like I can continue on this channel without it being weird and like you guys just wondering. So I just want to put it out there, get it out in the open. It's nothing serious, but it's a really big deal to me. And when I told my close friends and family, it was just like a really, really big deal. So I don't know if it's gonna be a big deal to some of you, but it might. But I just want to talk with you guys about it because no one really explained it to me this way before. So without further ado, here is what I'm coming out about. I am now a vegan. Yeah, I know you guys are probably rolling your eyes and about to hit the unsubscribe button, but before you do, I would love to explain why. So I feel like most people who go vegan, their motivation is for animal rights, and they disagree with the way that animals are treated, and that was not my motivation for doing this. Yeah, I mean, it was something that I kind of just knew about, but I just pushed aside to a corner of my mind, and I just didn't think about it because I was like, who cares, you know? So I'm doing it for health reasons. I'm not sick or anything. I just have been my entire life. My weight has been up and down. It's always been very fluctuating, especially in my teen years. And I have experimented with a lot of different lifestyles, a lot of different diets, a lot of different ways of thinking about food and eating food and all that stuff. More recently, I was adopting like high protein, low carb diets a lot, like the paleo diet and stuff like that. And I found that it was just driving me crazy. On those diets with high protein and low carbs, I just had a lot more cravings for things that weren't very good for me, and I just didn't have much energy, and it was just like really weighing on me. And I just wasn't happy, and I wasn't satisfied, and I was really down because I was like, geez, is this how like the rest of life is gonna be, eating healthy or whatever? Because that's what I feel like the majority of people believe, that is the healthiest way to live, is eating lots of protein and no carbohydrates or very little carbohydrates. So I basically knew something had to change, but I didn't know what that was. I was searching for something. So that's when I discovered the vegan lifestyle. If that doesn't answer your question of why, here are some of the benefits that I have noticed so far. I've only been doing this for, I don't know, like a month and a half. So the benefits I have noticed so far have been less cravings for junk food, less cravings for sugar, for cheese and dairy, less cravings for salty things, oily things, stuff like that. And those are cravings I had every day when I was eating a high protein, low carb diet. I've noticed that sorry, TMI alert all you men out there, but my periods are a lot lighter. I don't have any of the pre-period symptoms, but I used to, which is crazy because sometimes those symptoms hit me real hard. You know what I'm saying, ladies? You feel me? I had my first period while I was vegan, and it was like night and day. It was crazy. It was a lot lighter and not as intense as it normally is. I have stronger nails, I have clear skin, and my hair is growing like a weed. I used to take biotin, the vitamin that helps your hair and nails grow faster. And that, honestly, I didn't really see a difference when I took that, but now, since I've changed my eating habits, I've totally seen a difference in both of those things. I can eat as much as I want until I'm completely satisfied. I'm eating foods that are very nutrient dense, and I don't feel bad about eating a bunch of food like I did before. And even when I do eat a lot of food, good quality, like whole foods, not like junky vegan food, because you can totally be a junk food vegan. But when I was eating really good whole foods and I was full, I never got to that point where it was like, oh God, like, you know, when you get the meat sweats and you're like, you just feel like you're gonna barf, and you kind of want to die inside a little bit. I never had that feeling, and that was a new experience for me, because this girl likes to eat, you know what I'm saying? And despite popular belief, and maybe it's because I am a chef, I don't really know, but to me now, cooking is so much easier. So much easier. I've basically substituted whole plant-based foods for meat, cheese, dairy, eggs, and fish. And instead of eating those things, I am eating fruits, vegetables, grains, legumes, nuts, all that stuff. Another benefit of being a vegan, and I find this very, very interesting, is that a lot of people, I mean, I never had an eating disorder, but a lot of people who have had eating disorders in the past come to a vegan lifestyle and they absolutely fall in love with it, because they don't feel bad, like I said before, with eating food, because it's food that is so good for you, it makes you feel really good, and they don't have the urge to binge and purge like they did before on a diet that incorporated animal products into it. So I find that really interesting and really, really cool about this lifestyle. I never knew that side of it. So if you are someone who suffers from an eating disorder or who has an eating disorder background, I think eating a plant-based diet is something that you should look into. Just consider it. Another benefit that I've noticed while I've been vegan the past month and a half is that I have a lot more energy. I feel more motivated to get up and seize the day and get shit done, and it's really refreshing. And yeah, it's a new feeling for me, because I feel like, especially recently, I've just been feeling so sluggish and just blah. You know what I mean? It's actually not as difficult as people might think it is. Personally, I think going paleo and doing like a gluten-free diet is a little bit more difficult, especially when you're going out to eat somewhere. Because when you're vegan, you can eat bread, you can eat rice, you can eat pasta, you can eat potatoes. That's amazing. And I feel like a lot of the diets today that are fad diets, or diets that are like, get skinny quick, you know, you can't eat any of those things ever. Like, even if you sniff it, they tell you to just like go and confess your sins to someone, because you will probably have gained 5 pounds just sniffing it or looking at it. So when you're vegan, you can eat all of those things, which is amazing and wonderful. I find going out to eat not that bad. I've done it a couple of times in the past month and a half that I've been vegan, and it's really not difficult at all. I mean, unless you go to a place that is seriously like everything has meat and cheese in it, which I feel like is becoming more and more less accepted these days. So it's really not that difficult to go out to eat and socialize with people. You don't have to be a freak and hide in your bedroom eating kale or mushrooms or whatever. You can go out and you can be social and you can be a normal person. One of the misconceptions that people have about being vegan is that you are hungry all the time, which I find is not really the case. You actually eat a lot more than you would on a standard American diet. And that is because plant foods are naturally lower in calories, but they are packed with vitamins, minerals, and amazing nutrients for your body. It is a little bit more expensive, I will admit. It's probably for us about $20 to $30 more a week in groceries, but it all depends on what kind of vegan you are. There's tons of different avenues of vegan diets out there. It all depends on what works for you, what you feel good doing. So it's not, being a vegan, I wouldn't really put it in just one category of how you're supposed to eat, because there's people who eat totally raw vegan. All they eat is raw food every day. They don't eat anything cooked or processed. And then there's a vegan who they eat raw food up until 4 p.m. and then they eat cooked food. And then there's vegans who eat crap. They eat processed vegan food, the junk food vegans. And then there's people who have like a starch-based diet where they eat mostly rice, beans, potatoes, and a little less fruit than other vegans. So it's just whatever works for you, whatever you feel you're best at and what you thrive on. And a lot of people think it is really hard to go from eating a normal American diet to being a vegan. For me, it was so easy to transition. I didn't even have to like wean myself off of anything. I kind of just went all in. And so it was just something that clicked for me. I didn't have to really take the time to psych myself up and be like, okay, you can do this. I was just like, yeah, I'm ready. Like, I'm so ready to do this and to see what happens. Beans, lentil, hemp seed, chia seeds, buckwheat, tofu, tempeh, rice, peanut butter. And yes, all of these are complete proteins. Vegans are able to get all the protein they need in a day without having to consume a bunch of fat and cholesterol while doing it. The ironic thing about B12 is that even people who eat meat, cheese, eggs, all that stuff, they are still B12 deficient. So, I mean, I personally recommend that everyone take some sort of multivitamin or a B12 supplement, but vegans, they have plant-based resources to get B12 from. Some of the things that have B12 in them that are from plant-based things are anything that's fortified. So fortified cereals, non-dairy milk, meat substitutes, and nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast is deactivated yeast that comes in a little sprinkly bottle, like so, like a spice bottle. And ooh, yeah, it's really great. I know that some people describe the taste of it kind of like cheesy or nutty, and a lot of vegan cheeses have nutritional yeast in them. And it kind of smells like chicken stock or chicken bouillon cubes. It does smell kind of weird, but I mean, if you sprinkle it in your food and stuff, you really can't taste it, and it's packed full of great nutrients and B12. No, I realize that this lifestyle seems way extreme for most people, and they just can't imagine their lives without meat and cheese. I totally get it. I used to be that person. I did. I never thought, even being vegetarian. So I mean, I get it. I am right there with you. I'm a chef. I know how good butter is. I was trained in French classical cuisine. But I'm sick of living in a world where the older you get, the fatter and sicker you get. I'm sick of children developing serious diseases and having health issues because of their unhealthy lifestyle. And I'm also sick of ignoring the fact that the meat and dairy industry is a corrupt, multi-million-dollar corporation that is destroying our planet. And I realize that not everyone shares these feelings with me. I know, it's just the reality of it. But I want to get this message out there because no one ever explained this to me in this way. I kind of just fell upon this thing, and it all kind of happened in a whirlwind. My life completely changed in about 2 days. That's how long it took me to decide to fully commit to doing this. And I always just viewed vegans as these crazy hippies who were super extreme and wouldn't even harm or kill a bug or whatever in their house because they just didn't want to hurt any living being at all. And all the vegans that I came in contact with in my 25 years on this planet, they were super obnoxious a-holes that I wanted nothing to do with. And they couldn't shut up about it. Oh my God. They could not shut up about animal rights and blah, blah, blah. Oh God. And I don't want to be that person. I will not be put into a box of what a vegan should or shouldn't look like. I want to change the stereotype completely. I'm still figuring it out, but for now, I will only be cooking vegan food on my YouTube channel. And to all my non-vegan viewers out there who are probably shedding a tear and who are very, very sad right now about hearing this news, I want to assure you that this does not mean that the food that I cook and share with you guys will lack any sort of flavor or variety. Yes, it is still a bit of a challenge because I've only been doing this for not even 2 months. So I'm still learning, I'm still figuring things out for myself, but my new goal and objective for this channel is to show people that it doesn't have to be boring or difficult to be vegan if that is something that you want to do. And it doesn't have to taste gross and just flavorless. I'm just so excited to share my journey with all of you. And I hope that you guys can keep an open mind and not completely write me off for being a crazy lunatic for even thinking about doing this. This is not a rash decision that I have made. I have been doing a ton of research on this topic. And if you are someone who wants to learn more about this topic, about being vegan and plant-based, I highly recommend a movie on Netflix. It's called Vegucated. So if you have a Netflix account, it's totally free to watch. Really, really good. It's about this girl who puts an ad out on Craigslist for 6 people to try out being vegan for 6 weeks to kind of see what happens. And so it's basically a documentation of their experience and what they learned along the way. And it's really, really interesting. So down below, I'll be leaving links to YouTubers who are vegan who have inspired me in the past couple of months. And also people who are vegan and who are in the fitness industry and who make a living on being really fit and muscular. Because I know some of you who watch my videos love to get some serious time in the gym. So if you're rolling your eyes right now while you're chomping on your chicken breasts sprinkled with protein powder, before you think I'm a complete moron who has no idea what I'm talking about, please do some research. I urge you to click on one of the links or all of the links that I will be leaving down below. Watch the movie Vegucated. And if you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to ask. I am totally up for discussing this topic further with any of you who are interested in it or have any specific questions for me. So please let me know if you like this video. I know it's a little bit different than most of the videos that I post usually. Like I said, I needed to get this message out there. In case you guys weren't catching on already, yeah, all of the recipes I've been doing the past month have been vegan, and I just wanted to get it out in the open, just air it out, and not really keep it a secret anymore, because I want to be authentic on this channel and I want to show you who I am. I'm not going to try to be anyone else. This is me. I'm not making any apologies for it. So if this is not something that you're all about, you don't have to stay here, you don't have to watch my videos. But if you like what you have seen so far, especially in the last month, please stay. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would love to have you as a member of the Salty family. Yeah, I just appreciate all the support I've gotten so far in this channel, all the love, kind words, and people trying out the recipes that I've put out there. You guys are amazing and wonderful, and I will see you next Sunday with a new video. Probably a recipe video. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, so if you have any requests, let me know. Bye guys.